Kimberley Bowden, how have you been?
I'm good.
Yeah, you don't like people using your full name?
Here.
It is, yeah. Usually it's Kim, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, but Kimberley's fine. I introduced myself as Kimberley.
Just for the people watching, so they get your full name.
Yes, thank you.
How have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a lot better for seeing you, actually.
Oh, really?
Exactly the same as you were all those years ago.
Yeah, I was still baby-faced. I just put some stubble on,
Hey,
just grow it a little bit so don't look too young.
No, you look, it's weird.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Haven't aged. I feel the same way about you, actually.
Very healthy.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Yeah, healthy. I think that's good.
It's definitely good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? The podcast, basically.
Yeah.
Since COVID lockdown, filming's just started sort of back up now. Productions are happening, but yeah, basically been doing the podcast this year and America last year. And other than that, just acting, filming, kicking ass. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What have you been up to though?
I've just been enjoying JobKeeper.
Yeah, oh really?
Are you supposed to say it like that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. I actually needed a break. So I had vocal strain at the beginning of the year and I was considering having to get a job.
Yeah.
And it was kind of shitty because I lost it was the first time I was booked out for the entire next 6 months.
Yeah.
Like I had enough work and I didn't have to hustle anymore.
Yeah, no side job, yeah.
But then my voice was strained and I was struggling to do the gigs and then COVID. And so all of the work to get that, get myself booked kind of went down the toilet.
Yeah.
But I got a much needed rest for my voice.
Yeah. And
so it was a weird one.
It's tough, right? Because you just built up all the momentum, like coming back off The Voice. 2019.
I know. It's not a big deal, but what? No, it was good. It was good. But yeah, it was weird. It was strange. Like sometimes, you don't expect the good out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of at a place now where my voice is prime again and I'm ready to get back into it.
So it's a blessing in disguise, obviously.
Oh, totally, yeah.
That break as a performer, entertainer or musician, without even having the vocal cord strain is obviously a good thing sometimes. You don't even realize that you need to do it, but you have that momentum going for so long and you keep going for years and years and years on end and you don't really feel like that your energy's shifted until you stop for a little bit.
I think I've burnt out a couple of times over the years, but I was doing so well financially that I was kind of going, okay, well, I need to just keep at it. Like I need a break, but I shouldn't take one because I've finally got things happening for myself where I'm doing well full time with music. And then, it's been good. So I'll get back into it. But it's good that you've done this podcast. That's a lot more productive than a lot of other people.
Well, it's better than sitting around. But I haven't had a break, to be honest. I've actually got busier with work like full time and stuff like that. But just the acting side of things obviously slowed up for quite a while there. But this was another creative outlet, to explore. So it's been really good having some awesome people on like yourself and chatting about their journeys. But so where have you been? Up north with your mum?
Yeah.
Is that right?
So my mum has a property. Well, my parents had a property. She's actually selling it at the moment. So that's pretty sad, actually. But I was up there for 5 months with her. I don't know. 5 months is probably slightly too long to live with your mum. I feel like there's at this age, there's so many people who are living with their parents right now. It's hilarious. Sure. Like early 30s. Hey, Mum, can I come back for a while?
But it's a good little reset too. And, you remember things like your childhood and stuff and it can often rekindle things inside you as well. And like being a kid, which is in the entertainment game, sometimes you're kind of capitalizing off those things. Yeah.
And I found like that was a time where everybody was doing live streams. People were like, no, life's just continuing on as normal. We'll just do it all through the internet. And I was just like, I couldn't think of anything worse. Like I just don't want to put anything on the internet. I want to actually take a break.
Yeah.
So the first couple of months that I was there, I didn't sing one song. I didn't pick up the guitar. I didn't do anything. It was amazing to actually stop. So, and then I started to write and miss it a little bit. And then I started like learning stuff and preparing myself when everything got back to normal.
Yeah.
Whenever that will be. Yeah. I don't even know.
Well, it's slightly getting there, but it's still, I think it's a new normal we're going to have to get used to, right, for a while, and probably and also, forever change. Yeah.
At any time it could go down the toilet again.
Yeah.
Just for a little while. Exactly. I hope it doesn't.
No. We're not going to put that out there in the universe. Let's just keep going.
I think it'll be okay. I think Queensland is actually going to be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Some other states that are doing a little more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you actually started doing something in your basement, right? You were doing a few songs.
Yeah, Mum has our house there's a laundry bit, so it kind of looks like a basement, I guess. But I set it up as like a musical creative station.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, that's
and I was writing and just learning songs and just trying to get my voice feeling normal.
Yeah.
If you can imagine like a gymnast who's like her muscles are almost swollen and tense and she's stiff
and tight, and
so I was trying to become
there,
limber again with my voice.
So what is that, the vocal strain, like, so they just need to be loosened up again, or is it just from overwork and over singing, or like projecting too loud, or at gigs, or?
Yeah, it's a combination. So definitely I'm a loud talker. And I don't shut up. And if you're so you're always in bars, there's always booze there.
Yeah.
It makes your vocal cords inflamed. And then when they get inflamed, it's just like an angry cycle. But you sing too loud because they're inflamed, you have to push harder to get the sound to come out.
Which makes it worse.
You're having to push harder, and then like you're going out. You're even just people coming up and talking to you after a gig. Sometimes like I just can't do it.
Just can't get anything out.
I'm so sorry. Like they're just half cut and they just want to have a chat.
Yeah.
And so sweet, but I just can't do it because my voice is, shitting itself. So I have to I'm like, I'm so sorry, I gotta go. But yeah, it was pretty stressful because I felt like, if my voice goes, that's kind of very defining for me. It's who I am. I'm a singer. So without it, it was pretty scary. And I went and got it looked at and it was pretty strained. But it's coming back.
Yeah, well, to the point you were actually thinking about not doing it anymore. That's severe.
Yeah, I was thinking about giving it away for 6 months, and because I was getting quite sad about it.
Yeah.
Because if your voice isn't working and you're a singer, and that's the thing that people remember about you, they go, hey, you're a great singer, and you get up on stage and you feel like you're doing a shit job.
Yeah.
Or like you're doing 50% of what you can do. It's super hard on your self-esteem and everything. So I was really struggling with it.
You want to give it your all, obviously.
Yeah, because you just want to be able to show people like where your level is at and what you're capable of. And I just felt like I haven't been reaching that for a long time. So finally starting to I've got a few tricks up my sleeve now.
Yeah.
I found this guy on YouTube who does heaps and heaps of vocal lessons.
Okay.
You probably love it as well. It's just a great way to warm yourself up, and I do it like you can choose a 15-minute one, a 10-minute one. It's free. There's even ones for vocal strain. So if I'm hoarse after a gig, and so I do that every day now, and it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
The internet is a fascinating thing. You can learn so much.
I don't like it sometimes.
Not always
but
good
when
stuff.
I found this guy, I was like, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so good.
Yeah. So it's making a big difference.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. So you're back doing the odd gig now, like that. I know obviously not all bars are opened up, but there's quite a few in Queensland that are doing their thing now. So
yeah.
You've had a few since you've come back, or?
Yeah, so like definitely not fully back.
Yeah.
But I'm getting, I think I maybe did like 7 or 8 gigs last month, and I got maybe another 7 or 8 coming up so far.
And it's only
so there's places booking. I'm just trying to book for the same rate that I was getting booked at before, if not more, just because we did just have 6 months off work.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking a pay cut going back.
Yeah.
But I understand that some venues can't have you yet.
Yeah.
So you just have to be willing to say, oh, you know what, let me know when you can afford what I'm charging.
Yeah. But that's sometimes good, like, your value and where you've worked it up to, the market.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you drop it, then people are always going to start bargaining you down, right? And they like want to get a better deal though, and they'll use the circumstances to try and leverage that.
Oh, totally. And I definitely understand where venues are coming from. Like they've done it tough too, but like they're not charging less for their beers.
No, that's right, yeah.
So, and, you know, like if you book a gig and you can see the venue's pretty full and you know they're making a lot of money that day, and then you're getting paid, you know, 25, 30% less or whatever than what you should be getting paid, and you haven't worked in 5 months, that's just going to piss you off.
It's hard, yeah.
So I'm very happy to just be like, hey man, no worries, let me know, you know, if you want to get me, this is what I charge. And
I think that's a good point, yeah.
So, and also like, you know, it's just important to not reduce the rate for other artists, you know, like if someone else is going to get booked just because they're cheaper, you know, you're lowering, you're going to the average of what people are getting paid with in music. So, I mean, it's not all about money, but hey,
well, it pays the bills, especially when it's like your main job and source of income.
Yeah, and it's how you feel about what you're doing too, because if you get to a gig and you feel like you're getting ripped off, you're not going to enjoy that gig.
Yeah, and you're probably therefore not going to play as well, and then it's just that roll-on effect,
It's just
right?
a vibe, man, and it's how you feel, and it's really important. So, but you know, like it's actually been really, really good, and there's a lot of venues out there that want to help and want to support musicians, and you know, every industry has their little champions that are helping people through. So it's definitely not like it's not a really dire situation where I feel like musicians are constantly getting, you know, taken advantage of. There are people who are doing it, but everybody knows who they are.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no secret.
So speaking of your momentum that you built up there, you're on The Voice 2019, as I've just dropped before.
Yes, thank you.
How was that experience?
I loved it. I mean, I never thought I would like doing anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite a private person.
Yeah.
Like the only time I ever changed my, you know, status on Facebook about whether I'm in a relationship or not is when I did it with my best friend.
Yeah.
And like Tully thought I was a lesbian for a good year. But so for me, it was pretty hard to like
put yourself out there. Yeah, because that's what I thought. Like, because I remember back when we used to know each other, when Kim and I first met.
Yes.
What were we doing?
Well, you didn't have your shirt on.
No, that's right. And I wasn't stripping. Kim used to wax me.
Yes, I was a beauty therapist at Pure Indulgence.
That's right.
And everybody was like, oh, Daniel's here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, totally.
Wow,
oh my God,
that's
we deal with mums all day long. And
this is true. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I knew you then, there was like, obviously you're a performer, we were interested, I was doing acting, we'd always talk about what we were getting up to. But the one thing that I did notice in the change, because I was surprised when I saw you going for it for The Voice, and then you got on obviously, which was amazing. And I loved watching you on the big screen, on the TV screen. Yeah. Sometimes you were in and out with your confidence in yourself of what you were doing with your performing, and you would second guess it and stuff like that, which we all do as creatives and entertainers. And that's one thing how did you overcome that and getting on The Voice and then being on TV? And I know what it's like, lights, camera, action, you know, so many people around, such a big production. Yeah, I feel like it was like a coming of age thing maybe. I think like I'd gone overseas and I'd traveled, I came back and my dad had died. So I had that kind of like looming, like I felt like I was okay, but I think I was pretty lackluster. Yeah. So I came back to Brisbane and I was just trying to feel happy, feel excited about life. Yeah. And I did a couple of gigs and I made a decision. I really want to try and book all my gigs myself. So I wasn't going through an agent. There's a couple of great agents around, but I just personally wanted to do it myself. So I was really struggling to find work and I didn't have many. I had friends in Brisbane, but a lot of people had moved on and people were doing different things like having babies and stuff. Yeah. And I wasn't doing that. Yeah. So I felt quite lonely and I had like a few friends that got me through that time. But I did a gig with this bloke, Michael Manicus, great keys player, who recommended me to a talent scout for The Voice. Okay. And then I got a phone call and he was just like, hey, you know, a friend of mine said you're a great singer, you know, would you ever be interested in doing The Voice? And I was like, oh, dude, probably not. Like, you know. And then I kind of talked to a few different people who had done it and I was just getting opinions and I started to feel like, Jesus, what else have I got to do? Yeah. Like, I'm struggling to get gigs.
I'm way too much time on my hands, nothing to look forward to. And I was pretty down and out. So I got glandular fever as well. So I was sick, and then I just started to get gigs and I couldn't work. So I was just like, bugger me. I ended up feeling like it was just something to do and something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how much it was going to energize me.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. And the crew were incredible. And like the coaches, they were really sweet, like hanging out with them when you did get to hang out with them. They were super nice.
Yeah.
And it was just the best. Like, I found my confidence. I recorded a single when I was in Sydney. I was over the moon like the entire time. Cannot recommend it highly enough. As long as you go in there knowing that you can't let the outcome of it like really define who you are.
Yeah.
I loved it. I would tell anyone to do it, which is something I never thought I would say.
No.
But I think if it had been like X Factor or something, then it would have been a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I'm sure. Different shows, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's what you say, like you found your confidence again in that. Do you think it was working closely with the coach? Because you're on Team Delta, right?
Yeah. It was a real buzz. It was like an injection of like energy being around them just to see them in real life.
Yeah.
I'm a super goofball as well, so I was pretty starstruck. Like you can see in my audition that I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. I didn't cope well, and I was super blind, so I was looking at the wrong coach when I was trying to talk to them. And so I think Kelly was talking to me, but I was looking at Delta because I couldn't tell who was talking. So it was pretty funny. But it wasn't so much the coaches, it was the crew for me personally.
Okay, the support
I don't know
crew,
whether I should say that, but
no, that's fine.
It was great. It was great to meet Delta. She was a real sweetheart.
Yeah.
And it was actually the other contestants because everybody's there doing
supporting
the same
each
thing.
other,
You know, like you talk to other actors and you get all of your energy from everybody else's motivation.
You're bouncing off each other with that energy, and that's what creates great art at the end of the day. And whatever you're working on, that really shows in the work when you're doing things like that. But I would imagine they would have to keep you pretty well energized and things like that, because I know, start stopping and everything. You're not just up there singing, there's cameras and everything everywhere, live audiences, right, when it gets to a certain point.
I actually feel sorry for this year because those people competing didn't get a live audience all the time. And I thought, I mean, the nerves keep you going. Like, I was so nervous. Oh my God. It was shocking. Like, it was probably one of the few times in my life where I thought, geez, can I actually do this? I was really packing it. But like it was great. The whole thing was great. I feel like if I hadn't have done that, I might have stopped singing.
Yeah, wow.
Maybe just had a break or gone down a different path.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it was cool.
Because like you said, it would have been a really big step just applying for it at the start and actually thinking, so I'll go and I'll try and be the other 1,000 odd people that are trying to get on this or plus.
I know.
And get that rejection, because that's what you have to deal with in this industry a lot of times, which is hard, especially when you're coming from like a low confidence place.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that trip overseas as well did a lot for you.
Yeah. So I went on 2 separate trips, and one I did on my own, and then I ended up finishing on a super yacht. And then I came home and I was home for like 3 months. I surprised my family, and then that's when my dad died. And I'd already booked another trip with my best friend, Sarah, who's a legend. And anyway, I just didn't want to be here anymore in Tully. So up north. So I still went on my trip after. And it was really good to spend that time with Sarah, but once I wasn't with her anymore, I had all my shit stolen overseas. So I had both my passports, my license, my phone, my cards, everything, all of my identity when I was in Medellin in Colombia. And so and then I had to leave straight after that. And so I left Sarah, and so I had no money. And then I just went and did some nannying, and I did all this stuff in Europe. And I finished up in Portugal, and I started to just really go downhill.
Yeah.
It was like grief catching up with me. And my grandmother died like a couple of months after that. It was just, It was a really weird year.
Yeah.
Not the best year, but whatever. So when I came back, I think it was just like ripples of like those of grief that were just hitting me for a while.
Yeah.
So the voice actually, thinking about it now, I didn't really even realize it until I was talking to you about it, but it was a pick-me-up majorly.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling, but I was just not acting like I was to some people I was. But yeah, it was hard.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. Yeah, especially losing your grandmother as well. And you're really close to your father, obviously, as well. And he was a big support for you with the music, right?
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
He was a pretty incredible dad. So I really don't have anything to complain about.
Yeah.
I got him for as long as I got to have him, and, you know, I'm lucky, totally lucky. And I feel like, you know, you can just totally feel them cheering you on. Like, I remember being backstage and, like, on The Voice, I felt like they wanted me to cry all the time. And I just have, like, this I can't do it when the camera's there because I just know that I look so ugly.
I don't think anyone who looks good crying.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. And they wanted me to do it so bad, but all the tears would come out as soon as the camera went away.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I might have done better on the show if I'd had more tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like they wanted me to cry.
Yeah. Do you feel like they tried to drum up that sort of...
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's a TV series, and I know they sort of... There was a group, right, of, I think... when they calling you guys like the survivors or something along those lines, and that was kind of hard to see and, you know, feel, obviously knowing you personally as well. Yeah, the way that was kind of portrayed. Not that they portrayed a bit, you know, like it's TV, it's reality TV sort of. It's not really in my character really to be put through that. And showing that emotion to everybody, And also, I just didn't feel like I was. Like, I was like, okay, you know, Natasha was in remission for her cancer. And actually then, sadly, I don't know whether you know this, she actually passed away. Oh, no, I didn't know. Oh, my God. She passed away, like, after the show finished. Wow. I know. But she was a true survivor and a battler. And, you know, Emma, she actually was in a plane crash. Was like a famous crash in America, which I didn't even know about because I live under a rock. But like for me, it's like people lose people all the time. I didn't feel like I had survived my dad's death. I just felt like it had happened and everybody gets on with things. So it was really strange and I felt like a bit of a pretender actually doing that. But I'm so glad that Natasha went through because, man, she was like unbelievable singer and like she got that high in those last few months of her life and, you know. Yeah, that was an amazing thing, Yeah, so good. Because you actually went up against her, didn't you, in the sort of knockout rounds, right? Yeah, the knockout. So it was me, Emma sang, what's that Miley song, The Climb? And then Natasha sang REM, what's that song? Everybody Hurts, and I sang Titanium. Yeah, that's right. I do remember. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, you watched it. Fanboying from at home. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. So, and my song was cool, but I didn't feel like it was the best I'd sung that song. Yeah. I didn't sing it the way I would sing it. So I kind of feel like I was guided to sing it differently than how I would sing it. Yeah. And like I remember watching it with my bestie, Brooksy. We were on the couch watching it at home. Yeah. And after he heard my performance of it, he just turned to me and he goes, that's not how you would sing that song. And he's heard me sing for like 10 years. We've been working together. Yeah, I've met him before. Yeah, he's a legend. And I was like, they kind of guided me to sing it, like cut my words off. So instead of being like, you shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say, and like drag it out, they were like, nah, keep it real raw and be like, you shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. And it didn't have the emotion for me. Yeah. So when I heard it back, I was like, it was good. I didn't like feel like I did a bad job, but it just didn't feel like it was the winning performance anyway. Yeah, and they made it a little more up tempo. It sounds like So, well, is it like the beat of,
it was a little bit fast.
Yeah. And I wonder whether that's because it's kind of the live show and they only sing a portion of the song, right? You don't sing the whole song.
60 seconds.
Yeah.
No, it was just the way it went.
It's just the way they wanted to do it.
Because like, Delta was playing for me. It's just the way it went. I don't know who was rushing her eyes. It was maybe nerves as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was.
Oh, so she played the piano.
Yeah, she played the piano.
That would have been pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's so good looking. I can't even focus when I'm talking to her.
You said you weren't lesbian, right?
I know. I'm always nearly about to change.
A little bit there, yeah.
Like I'm definitely scared of vaginas. And I've seen so many in my lifetime.
At one point.
Like I've seen more vaginas than most people I know put together. But I just never wanted to be up in one. And that still has not changed. But she is so hot.
Yeah.
Like it's not normal. I think the first thing I said to her was, she was like walking me down the stage and I was trying not to fall over and I was like, "You're so good looking, it's not normal." She's like, "Huh." She thought I was really weird.
Oh, yeah.
She's cool though. She's really nice. And I grew up listening to Delta, so I was so starstruck by her.
I bet. Yeah. Well,
Holy
she's
crap.
An Australian icon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The darling, really.
Yeah.
Let's
I remember looking over and like she does this. Have you seen the movie Tangled?
Tangled.
So there's this cartoon Tangled, and it's like a Rapunzel ripoff. It's really good, but the male character, he has this look called the smolder that like impresses ladies.
Yeah, okay.
And so he does like this like thing, and it's very similar to that. I just nailed it. But she does that. When she's playing the piano and she looks at you, she does the smolder.
Okay.
And I was like,
I got you. Yeah, she switches,
Yeah, she's just like, oh, looking like, And I'm just so like, sexual. Damn, you shout it out. Fuck me,
you're just looking at you're just looking at Delta the whole time.
Yeah, just like.
You were performing for her, really, weren't you?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Smolder.
I've met her boyfriend.
Yeah. Which one?
Okay,
Wasn't she dating Guy Sebastian at one point?
That's how you know you're straight.
Yeah.
When you meet Delta's boyfriend, because you're like, holy shit.
Who's her boyfriend now? I can't keep up.
Don't know his name.
Okay.
I don't need to know his name.
Don't need to know.
I know what he looks like.
He conquered the smolder.
He looks like a human god.
Okay.
He's like 6'6". He's got like long hair and he's all like broad and like, and he's so good. He made me a coffee. This is funny. So I'm not a coffee snub, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, grew up in Tully. Like we've been having like international roast our entire life. We've moved on to Makana now. It's a big deal.
Moving up, yeah.
But when we got to her place, we had like a rehearsal at her house, which was really cool. And he was like, hey, ladies, do you want a coffee? And he's like, I've got cold pressed. I've got like blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, do you have instant? And he's like, looked at me like, no. And I was like, just whatever then.
You had no idea what he was talking about?
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know what, like just a flat white then. But I just was trying not to have like too much coffee because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
So anxious. I thought I'm just going to bounce off the walls if I have like one of those coffees.
Or throw up yeah.
And he was just looked at me like instant, like get out of the gutter,
You are
mate.
from Telly, aren't you?
Yeah. I was like, it was funny. And because my voice was strained actually. So I was still having vocal strain the year before. And so I didn't drink for like 2.5 months trying to get my voice better, but I figured out how to do it now.
Yeah. So was that during the show you actually had the voice strain as well?
I had a bit of vocal strain, yeah. Like I was still pretty stiff. I got a lot better, but it was... Yeah, I was pretty nervous that it was a weird thing to feel like my voice is going to let me down actually because it never has. Yeah. Until it started to just being like, touch it. It's nuts. It's on point. I'm not worried about it anymore. Yeah. It's awesome.
Well, it sounded good. No warm up, no nothing just then. I was like, here we go.
I'm
Didn't
joking.
even need to ask you to sing anything for us. You busted it out.
Well, it's like, but it was something that was really interesting because I was like, oh man, I listened to what they were telling me to do and they gave me some great advice. Like Delta was like, don't close your eyes. Open your eyes up. That's where your soul is.
Let them see the emotion. Yeah.
So there was great advice in there, but this one thing about like keeping it raw and just speaking it was like, I feel like the wrong thing to do. I should have sung it the way I sung it. The first time I sang it, they didn't show that footage.
Oh, okay.
And I really feel like the first time we shot it, so they do that thing around the piano where you like get told what you're going to sing for a start. And I had the song Titanium confused with Chandelier in my head, and I'm thinking, can I reach that? I don't even think I can reach that. And then I started singing the song because I'm a dangleberry, and I was like, oh, yeah, you can reach this. But the first time I sang it, I nailed it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the times it was okay. It was like I was always in tune and everything, but I just didn't have the emotion. I don't feel like I did.
Yeah, because of the tempo and the way they wanted you to sing it.
Yeah, I think I was overthinking it too. It wasn't necessarily all of that. Like I really should have, I'm, 31 years old at that time. I should have been like, bugger that, I'm going to sing it the way I want.
Yeah, just get up there on the mic.
I should have just sung it the way I wanted to. So I'm old enough and ugly enough to know that. But, I was listening to like advice and stuff. It's interesting though.
Which you have to do. It's part of the show though, right? Because you do have those one-on-ones or whatever you work with, Delta or whoever your team captain is.
Yeah, it's a kind of a fine line between being arrogant and not listening or being, respecting the people around you and going, okay, I'm going to listen to what they're saying. So you just have to choose one or the other. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to listen. I'm just going to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because I was so out of my comfort zone doing something like that in the first place.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. And it was still great. I have no regrets about the whole thing.
Well, that's a good thing to walk away with something like that and having no regrets. And like you got some good, momentum from it, obviously.
Yeah,
and more people know who you are now.
Yeah. I've had like 7 people recognize me. It's pretty.
Not counting on nothing.
No, I don't know. Like it is funny. Like, I think it's a big deal to be on TV for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if they know, especially for venues, like they'll be like, oh, you're on The Voice.
Of course. And it's a clout to book and get people in the door.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
I definitely think I'm running out of time now. I'm not going to be riding that wave for much longer.
Yeah.
But that's all good.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing you just said before about actually the way you wanted to sing the song and the way they wanted you to sing it. Yeah. The thing is with artists though, and singers, I mean, I'm obviously not one myself, but
you are.
It's their unique quality and the way they sing is what really gets you to the dance and what gets people into you. Like music changes. There's always different sounds that are happening, and people that are coming new into the game, or they say that it happens overnight. Obviously, you've been developing it for a long period of time before you get noticed, but that's what makes you different and stand out from everyone else. So you would think that you'd want to harness that and just go for it though, right? But
well, I mean, like they did give me a lot of really good advice as well. Like that was probably the only piece of advice that let me down. Like they gave me so much good advice. So, and I learned so much just from being like in that production and understanding what's involved in doing something so big. But, that's just like to me, that's like a technicality of singing. Like if they had told me to like, sing with a slightly like put on a different tone or something, then that would have been interfering with my uniqueness a lot more.
Yeah.
But it was just a piece of advice. I just kind of like, I took it and I think it didn't pay off, and that just happens. Like I wasn't too fussed about it. I didn't feel like they were trying to change me actually.
Yeah, okay.
They were definitely not trying to mold me or manipulate me, which was really good. Well,
that's good. Yeah.
It wouldn't have gone down very well because I can't pretend.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have worked.
I always wonder what it is like behind the scenes of shows like that, because obviously I know from behind the curtain of being on, different movies and or any set per se, and you see a lot of the reality TV, like say the dating shows or what have you, and they have a lot of actors actually on those shows, like half the time, even recent ones were just on, but The Bachelor.
Would you ever do that?
I got asked to do a few. They probably won't have me because a few podcasts ago we bagged it out quite a lot.
Did ya?
No, I was speaking to Julia Baker, I think it was. Snake Catcher lady that I had. She had a TV series.
Okay.
And we were talking about The Bachelor and things like that. Like the whole, actually there's been a lot. Actually in Anissa, the first show we had, we talked a lot about it, like the forced intimacy of it all and just funny things. But I don't know, look, not at the moment. Obviously.
Never say never.
Well, no, I have a girlfriend, so I don't think she would be too happy about that right now.
Yeah, okay. She'd be like, no.
No, that wouldn't work.
No.
But yeah, I did get asked like several years ago, I remember, for a new one that they were doing some American show was doing one and then an Australian one at some point, and they were asking me like these really weird questions at the start of the phones of like, what kind of girls are you into, which obviously they're going to say that. And at the time being so I didn't know what I like a lot of things, you know what I mean? It's like I don't like narrow it down to just one certain type of female that I'm into. But I think it's because I said at one point, and I don't really stand by it at all, but they were like, oh, like what kind of, race of girls do you like or what have you? And I was just like, I like a bit of variety.
That human race.
And a bit of a mix, but not really like Australian girls. Like they never called me back after that.
Really?
And I'll take that back completely. But
funny.
I don't even know why I said it. It just came out of my mouth, and it's like one of those things that people say to you sometimes, and you say a type, and you think that you have an idea of what you like, but you don't really.
They must have thought you were such a smart ass.
Oh, I know, and I kind of did. It was just fun. It was like a joke. It was actually, I was joking a little bit at the same time.
This guy doesn't like Australian girls. It's an Australian show,
but to be fair, I didn't want to really be on it anyway. Like I thought, I was like, I don't really want to have to do a dating show to try and get up in the spotlight to be known more for my acting and things like that. Like I want to put in the work and just do it that way, and whatever happens, happens.
I think my mum would be kind of like, she'd be like, don't do it, but do it for Married at First Sight or like fun. My auntie would be so
She would want you for Married at First Sight?
Yeah, because she'd be like, it's the only way it's going to happen.
Oh.
Like, we'll get her in a wedding dress yet with a random.
So you're putting that out there on the show that you would do Married at First Sight?
No.
2019 voice contestant, Kimberley Bowden.
They had some bad chat going around
that would
that
be
show.
That would be the worst one to go on.
Everybody who went on it was really pissed off.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
No, I don't pay attention
Married
to those.
At First Sight. I think it was like, sorry, I just had spaghetti and I burped.
It's okay. The mic will pick it up. Everybody will know.
Go away.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, is this
the nerves of going down the altar that you're picturing in your mind right now? Yeah.
No. It's just the onion. But anyway, I think that it would be a horrible show to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't do it. And I don't think, also, you know how the Honey Badger did it and he was like.
That was The Bachelor.
The Bachelor,
right?
Yeah. It's all the same to me. I don't know the difference. But anyway, he did it and Mum was like, I can't believe he didn't choose one of those girls. And I'm thinking, man, I've been single for 4 years. Like, you could line up 100 blokes and I still probably wouldn't like any of them.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't contrive that kind of thing. You either like someone or you don't. So 20 girls?
Well, they try to bring the relationship experts in, I think, on that Married at First Sight one, because obviously they're trying to pair someone up that's going to be somewhat compatible. And
I have a theory about this. Okay. I reckon they only put like 5 or 6 girls in there who are actually suitable to them and the rest are just drama.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Drama is what sells those shows.
Yeah.
And so you look at those ones, there was a lot of fights and people like hooking up with each other's wives or what have you. And Jesus, a little bit of a show that I saw at one point was that way. But yeah.
I didn't watch The Bachelor with the Honey Badger in it because I was like, but you're supposed to marry me.
You like it. He's funny. But yeah, I'm sure he did. Like, it seemed like, I think he was saying comments to a lot of people and like, it was just fully for clout, like just to up it. I mean, you already had the tradie ads. What more has he really got from that?
Yeah. I just think he was bored.
Yeah.
He also seems to be pretty happy-go-lucky, so he just probably
he's a rugby player.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, I remember him playing rugby. He was fairly decent, but
I don't remember like ever caring about the fact that he's a rugby player. It was just all about the interviews afterwards because he's so funny.
Yeah, I do think he's hilarious.
He's
I'll give him that.
Funny, yeah.
Those tradie ads are good. Like that's got to done wonders for their stock. That's for sure. And now they're bringing females on there as well.
I know.
They're hilarious.
I haven't done it though because like I feel like the female ones would give you a muffin top. Just how it's not for me.
Well, they're putting it on the screen.
I like Kmart.
Yeah, okay.
Kmart.
Fits a bit better. It's nicer.
Yeah, I mean, how long does underwear last anyway?
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's just get crappy ones and maybe that's my problem.
Maybe.
I need to up my game.
Yeah, I don't know. Calvin Klein's pretty good. They feel quite good on me right now.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I'm not that impressive.
No, they're good. Not that I'm taking off my kid anytime soon off this podcast right now, so.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Who knows where it'll go.
It's the wrong time.
Yeah, it's the wrong time. Yeah. Well, we do have some drinks sometimes on the podcast, so yeah.
Do
who knows?
you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe I should have put that as an option.
You don't have beers, do you?
Usually we do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Why, you like beer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. I like wine. I
should
like
have
beer.
thought about it. Should have.
It's all right.
You got some?
He's got one.
Do you want it?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, maybe at the end.
Yeah. It surprisingly is really good. It loosens you up.
I bet it does.
Yeah, it's good. It was funny because I had Brad Lever on. He's a jazz singer.
Awesome.
And yeah, he's Swing Central. I don't know if you heard of them, but
damn, I don't know jazz players
he's
as
good.
much.
I got him to sing on here, but he's like, do you want to have a beer on there? I'm like, yeah, we can have a beer on there. Just give me an excuse.
Yeah.
And I got some craft beer from I think it was down the road. That might have been Green Beacon, but Ranger's just down the road. Delicious. Like my favorite craft beer place in Brisbane. We go there all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, and we got it. That's Brad Lever right there. We have up on the screen. See, we'll point it out since Tristan's gone to the effort of finding it for me.
Nah. No idea.
Gorgeous looking man.
He's lovely.
Yeah.
Very yum.
Yep. And you hear him sing. He's even yummier.
I bet he's yummy when he sings.
But yeah, we had a few beers, and I realized after a while that I had about, these are strong beers too. The craft beers are like probably what are they? I don't know. 2 point something or whatever
dangerous.
Standard drinks, some
when
of them.
When there's something recording what you're saying, that is such a bad
I realized
idea.
because obviously I can hear my own voice in here, and I realized that I was about 3 beers deep to his half a glass, and I could tell that I was getting real cherry in what I was saying, and I was getting blocks, and there was a little slur on my words, and I'm like, I need to wrap this up pretty soon. Like, yeah, it's good. You get into it.
It's only okay to have a beer in a podcast. I've just made this up in my mind like the last half hour.
Okay.
Because if you start at the beginning, like it only takes 2 beers and I'm drunk.
Yeah.
It's like I already say stupid shit like without
You're just
any
trying to hold
alcohol.
it back right now.
Yeah. I am. I'm trying to be like, don't be a dickhead right now.
Being a dickhead is fine.
Yeah.
It's just cameras to capture it. No.
That's what everybody says until you come out with something that just makes them
and then
really question why they're friends with you.
Especially these days, you can get cancelled pretty easy, right? Well, we're not in America. That gets you cancelled a lot quicker if you say things. But yeah.
And you're the boss.
Yeah, that's right. Anything goes.
Hey,
look, just so everybody knows, these are uncut. We just flow right through.
Yeah, that's
There's no cutting in this, and unless there's really massive technical difficulties. But touch wood, we haven't really had that yet. So yeah.
It's doing well.
You sure? Do you want a beer?
I'll go on then.
See, now you've got me thinking about it. Tristan's on it straight away. What's the beer? Oh, you're probably gonna be like, it'll probably be a sour because he loves his sours.
That's okay. I'm not a sweet person,
No?
so I prefer something bitter or sour. I'm not bitter, but
just putting it out there. No, you're sweet, so you want something bitter to balance it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the sweet drinks. Hey,
okay.
No, I'm weird like that.
Got it.
Here we go. Do I have to finish my water so that we can?
You got low power mode.
Awesome.
Double hopped IPA. Yeah, this will get you rocking. Trying to see how much standard drinks
That's
it is.
exciting that you've got a girlfriend. Congratulations, my friend.
It's different, right?
How long's that been going for?
No, it's only pretty new. Only like a couple of months, yeah.
That's oh my God, you survived months?
Yeah.
I can't even do that
2 months
at
yet.
all.
Oh, there you go.
He gave us extra ones.
He did.
Oh, okay.
We can keep those for water
Yeah.
when we need them because
right.
after this we probably will need it.
Is she South African or New Zealand?
Why are you saying that? Just because the last time I ran into you,
I don't know.
Yeah, the last time I ran into you, I was on a date, which was hilarious because it took me a while to remember that.
Yeah.
But I clicked as soon as you said the Osborne. I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah. Now I remember.
It's a good venue, the Osborne.
It is. Yeah, I actually love that place. And I was going to say that before. We went out for burgers and then we got ice cream on the way back. We walked past the Osborne. It was packed the other day. Like, it's like COVID did not even happen.
I love that venue. And they are very good to me there.
Yeah.
Like,
it's quite good.
I can't thank them enough for everything.
Yeah. Although, you know one thing? I went on another date there as well. And they sat us down at the table right in front of the stage there where people are performing. And you're like, gotta yell.
You sat in front of me. I remember. You were sitting in front of me one time. Maybe it was with that girl.
No, well, this is a different time though. I think.
Maybe it was another time. That looks like orange juice.
It does. You smell it. It's very fruity, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I had this the other day.
Oh, yeah. Happy days.
It's delicious. Yeah.
Cheers, amigo.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. This is awesome.
Oh, I love it. That is range from down the road. Yeah, it's fruity, right?
That's lovely.
And hoppy, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, look out.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so yeah, no, it's been good, yeah. She's half Australian, half Filipino, so yeah. There you go.
Gorgeous.
Mixture.
Yeah.
I like it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's Ostropino. My best friend's
That's a good one.
Ostropino.
I was so going to use that.
Yeah, that's Brooksy.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. So speaking of, he's your main collaborator a lot of the times, right?
Well, no, he and I have been playing cover gigs together in a duo called Girls and Boys for like 9 years or something.
Yeah.
Long time. And he's one of my best friends. So, but like, I'm actually going to sing on a track of his that he's going to put on Spotify when he like gets that going.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually done a proper original thing together because like he is into dance and like he's very quirky, very specifically to him, and I'm like more of a country singer-songwriter kind of vibe. So yeah, like we've never done that. I think we just write differently. So I like personally, I haven't really felt like it would work for the both of us to gel together. It would be a bit weird, but yeah, he's like my man for my covers. He's such a good person to work with. Like to work with someone for 9 years and not have a falling out is pretty unreal.
Yeah.
Because people just don't do that very often.
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're with them all the time and, you know, there's money involved and all that.
Which is probably the main root of all evils in that circumstance sometimes or creative differences, I guess.
Ego.
Okay. We'll definitely put that up there, yeah.
With musos, working with someone.
I think it's with most people, the ego, whether they know it or not.
Yeah. Whereas him and I were kind of like, nah, you take this limelight, mate, because while you're doing all the work, then I can chill. So we're happy to work off whoever's each other, feeling like putting more in or whatever, you know, he's cool to work with.
It's a good combination to have though as well.
Oh, so relaxing.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than being on stage with someone who's critiquing you or kind of.
You should have done this better. You should have done that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even just like tricking you up, trying to keep you on your toes. There are people who do this.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's annoying.
To keep you on the toes as in a good performance thing,
just
or they're
almost
just
like
doing it to see you trip up on stage?
To see if you can keep up.
Have you ever done that literally? Trip on stage?
Oh, yeah.
You strike me as someone that might do
everything.
that.
I've like hit my head as I walk on stage. I've fallen over. I've done everything that you could possibly do.
What was the most embarrassing thing that happened to you on stage? Or even backstage?
Wow. I did a lot of funny stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
This is a funny story because I've got video of this. So I was singing at the Gympie Master.
Yeah.
And
you may have told me this story. Keep going, sorry. Gympie Master, I just straight away.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was like maybe 13 and, you know, competing in a competition. And I was feeling like really nervous and I went on stage, and when I got on stage I was singing the song and I just did this silentest, most dirty fart, like so deadly, so bad. And, you know, there's nobody else on stage apart from you and the band. So you can't blame it on anyone. You're separated from the audience. And so you can see in the video the band just going and then figuring out that it's me.
You crop dusted your own band.
13-year-old little idiot who's singing in the gospel section at like 10 a.m. in the morning, just dropping the dirtiest farts ever. So I look back on that fondly.
That's awesome.
It is good. Yeah.
So they figured it out that it was you as well. Which
it was never spoken about. It was never spoken about.
Of course not.
No. Just got off stage and I was like, Jesus. I think I was probably crossing my legs on stage, trying to keep it in. But I actually have this really bad habit where I don't like my ass doesn't talk to my brain. So I will like fart and then realize, shit, you farted. And then I just do this because I'm like.
What, on stage? Like,
no, not on stage. It's just with my friends. Like, because I'm like, oh, damn. Like, I don't know it's coming. And then it happens. I'm like, oh, I can't take that back. And then, yeah, it's bad. It's pretty funny. But like, people do get offended by it. And I'm just like, clearly I didn't do it on purpose. It just, nobody warns me that it's going to happen. Like, I didn't know. Out. Yeah. It's not good on dates.
No, that never would be.
No. It's because they don't want to think that you've got one of those. So a butt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always found that a strange myth, actually. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone thinks that, like, if a guy makes a joke like that to me, I'm like,
you're not the one.
You are not the one.
You're not going to last 5 minutes with me, never low 5 years.
If you think that's gross, then we've got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
With this. Yeah. It's part of my charm.
That's brilliant.
It's not good though, actually. I do wish I didn't do it. But again, I never know I'm going to do it until it's done. And then I'm like,
it's just you.
Fuck, I've done it.
You got to let the world know who you are.
Yeah.
No point in hiding it now. Yeah. It's all out there.
And I think if someone sees you on stage singing, or like they'll see you performing, or they see you on they have this idea of what you're like.
Yeah.
And I'm never what they expect.
Never come to fruition of the idea.
No, and this is going to make me burp so much, so I'm just pre-warning you.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Oh, my God.
We'll get
it's happening.
We'll get you some water in there because, these are very hoppy. No, they're very hoppy beers. It's hoppy. A double hopped beer, yeah. So it's IPA. So, yeah, just fair warning. It's always okay to hydrate in between. And if anyone says anything, the pussies that drink that light beer can suck it. So, yeah.
The pale ale?
Yeah. Oh, the pale ale's all right. But I just mean like,
what's the light beer?
Your VB or something.
Oh,
like,
really?
Not mocking VB, all right? But,
I don't know.
But, any of those draft beers are like,
okay.
4 or 5% or whatever. These are like.
These are proper.
Yeah, these are hard man beers,
Oh my God.
What's that? 7.5%. But yeah, some of them are like 8-9%. Yeah, it's it gets fun after a couple, especially when they sneak up on you on a nice summer day. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to a party after this and with Brooksy, and I think it's like a boozy party.
Yeah.
And it's a German theme or something. Okay. He's like, put some plaits in your hair. And I was like, nah.
That's a lot of effort.
And I kind of look a bit goth today, so I'm not going to fit in at all. But anyway.
German, couldn't you just get a little kind of crazy hat or something? Or
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I should care more, but
do you know with the pretzels? Isn't that a German thing? No? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Just start yodeling when you walk in.
I could do that.
And fighting at the same time. That's a talent.
I could do the yodeling thing. I could do a bit of like Sound of Music.
Yeah, okay.
And that's not really, that's Austria, but you know what I mean.
Same.
Yeah. Europe.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a good time over there though.
Yeah, it was good. It was super challenging at times. Like the super yacht thing was weird. Yeah. But it was good.
Were you working on super yacht or partying on super yacht?
I was working.
Same. They go hand in hand, right?
Oh, yeah. I was a beauty therapist and stewardess, and I was working.
Beauty therapist on a super yacht.
Oh,
I can imagine the clientele that would have been coming in there.
Well, I remember when I got the job, I think my mum freaked me out. She's like, they're going to just want you to do hand jobs all day. And I was like, Mum, probably not. Yeah, I know. And I'd just gotten off the plane in Amsterdam. And so I get in the car with the chief stewardess and she's just like, how are you? And I'm like, good. And then like 10 minutes in, I'm like, so like, are they going to try and get tip me for sexual favors? Because I'm not really going to have a good attitude with that. And she was like, no, you're all good. There's no sexual favors.
You're on a party island.
Yeah.
That stuff just is going around.
No, it's not something that I'm into at all.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Yeah. Thanks, Mum, for putting that out there.
Yeah. She's funny, eh?
That is hilarious.
She's very tame.
What was the look on her face? Was she just kind of like, the lady, was she like, I don't do that?
She was super serious about it. She's like, no, we don't do that here. And I was like, thank God.
There's other yachts further down the marina.
Because I was just like, I'm just the wrong girl for that job. So,
I'm probably going to fart.
There's so many jokes that I'm not even going to say because my mum's going to listen to this podcast.
Okay,
yeah. No, I'm the wrong girl for the job.
Oh my
terrible,
God. That's
terrible.
so funny.
Yeah. I would fail.
So speaking of music, what have you sort of got coming? Like you finished The Voice, obviously. When you were performing on there, did you perform any of your original songs, or was it all covers?
No, I mean, you don't really get the option to perform your originals.
Okay,
I wish they would do that.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm sure there's been a couple that have done it, but it must have been, I'm sure when there was a rapper on there at some point or something along those lines. They made this big
drama about how Kelly said he should break the rules, and it was
right. Okay. So there is rules about that.
Yeah, that was my season.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
That guy's so good looking.
He was good too. From memory. Yeah.
He was good. I remember walking up to him going, "You are so good looking." Like,
you're just telling everyone.
Yeah. No, I was just like, it's not normal because you've got the best face. The chicks are going to love you. He was really cool. But yeah, no, I recorded a song while I was down there, which was awesome, with my producer that I've been using, Matt Fell.
Yeah.
And then I released that, and that got played on Country Music Channel, so that was awesome.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's called Can't Stop Living It. It's on Spotify. Please go and listen to it. But I've got a new song that I think I'm going to try and release at New Year's, because the first couple lines actually talks about it being the new year. I wrote it in January.
And that couldn't be any more relevant right now to start off a new year.
Yeah,
with everything that's been going on.
That's right. It gives me a bit of time to prepare for how I'm going to release it. Every time I release a song, I try to get better at it, because I started off pretty damn woeful at it. So it's pretty weird releasing songs these days, like knowing where to put your money in advertising and stuff.
Yeah.
So
and social media is a huge part in all that.
Yeah. If you know how to use it, and also it's expensive to advertise music on there, because I've just been learning about it. And say if you want to promote a song, say if you're selected a heap of countries, you'll get a lot of plays in cheaper countries, like say India, or there's actually places have values. So America, there's so much more advertising going into their social media platform that if you want to advertise there, you got to be paying a lot more. So you can't put $5 a day on. You want to be putting $100 a day.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot harder to get heard in those places. And Australia's expensive. New Zealand's expensive.
Yeah.
UK. It's more unfortunately, not as many Western places that you can advertise to. And it's really great if heaps of people in the Philippines are listening to my songs, but I'm not going to get to them anytime soon.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But I think I'm going to try and do a tour in December, just in Queensland, because I'm not leaving this state ever.
Yeah.
Because I feel safe here.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to try and just do it the old-fashioned way and play in front of people.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to kind of get myself and my name out there a little bit more.
Well, it's always with that marketing thing as well, and that's the thing that you sort of hear. There's indie artists that break through, right, and they have their big selling album that everyone knows them about, and they get snapped up, and it's their first studio album that goes massive. But the reason why people know them and hear them is because they have a huge marketing platform behind them, because the record label is putting a lot of money into that sort of thing. And you even notice the independent artists that break it really quick, and then because there's a lot of guys, or a lot of people in the industry, female as well, obviously, that take that independent route now because of how much you get screwed over by some of the record labels and the contracts that they set you up under a lot of the time. But you still, and you're like, oh, I haven't heard much from them lately, but it's just because it's not pushed in your face all the time.
Yeah.
And there's a hard, heavy medium in between all that.
I think it's really changing. The landscape is changing. I don't know enough about it. I always feel like I'm ignorant to the music business side of things, forever ignorant. I'm trying to learn, but I think now, I even know for the contracts with The Voice, it was a really good contract in comparison to thinking about, actually in comparison to contracts, it was a good contract.
Yeah.
So people are getting screwed over still, but maybe less. But I think the independent thing is, it's a combination of truly having something fantastic to put out into the world and then doing it cleverly. So I mean, I feel like, like the hits just are hits. So if your song is really that good, it's like say Dance Monkey by Tones and I, she got picked up. She obviously had that song and it's a hit.
Yeah.
You hear that and you never forget it and it's undeniable.
She's a very unique voice as well, yeah.
Yeah, and it is tone as well. And I've had people over the years many times ask me what my image is and all of those things. And personally, I feel like I've always struggled there because I'm not into fashion. So I dress how I feel. So one day I'll look like some skater chick and the next day I'll look really feminine and the next day I look a little bit like this, a little bit like bikey / whatever's going on today.
Yeah.
I don't have an image and, I'm just a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And there's so many of those out there that there's nothing particularly unique about that. The only thing that's unique to me is the way I write songs and my voice, which is, important, but it really helps to have a real vibe, like say Norah Jones. She's got a real image. She's got something that really stands out about her and her tone. You tone your songs and what you stand for. And the last one for me is particularly hard to kind of nail down.
What you stand for?
Yeah, or just like what it is that's unique, what defines you compared to everybody else, so
honestly it's something that I see and people that I'm drawn to as well is that their uniqueness, but it's like when you say the fighting thing or this or that or acting a fool at times, the quirkiness is for me is one of the most attractive qualities in people, because that's what sets them apart from anyone else, because the rest of them are just trying to pretend of what they are, like once you let that out, like that's your unique thing, like that's you are you, and that uniqueness just shows, like, and just those little quirks are like that's the most attractive. When I see girls or whatever, like they do a little dance, they do something like in between those moments that are like just like, and they're laughing at themselves and they probably don't even realize when they're doing them. That's so attractive to me anyway. But I think that's something that you should let go and tap into, because I mean, why pigeonhole yourself on like, oh, I'm this way, I'm that way, I mean, if everybody's doing that, then what makes that original? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you see that Billie Eilish, she dresses down a lot, like, like, and a baggy t-shirt, but that's the thing now that girls wear. But
she's interesting because like she's trying to take all of her sexuality out of
the equation. Yeah.
And it's, that's what Tones and I does. There's a lot of girls coming out now going, I'm not going to show you. It's pushing back against the thing that,
right now. Yeah, it's pushing back against the normal thing that gets these pop singers in focus.
Part of the selling is like the way you're dressed. I mean, like for me, I think I can feel myself kind of coming into my own, like after all this time, and I'm not there yet, but I'm just going to sit in my confusion for now and I'll get there, you know what I mean? I think probably personally it's personality, like the way I interact and talk with audiences and, the fact that I'll talk about anything. So I don't know. That's what makes me unique is my personality. But, you can't really portray that in a picture so much, which is kind of part of it. You got to be able to visually show who you are as well. So I'll get there. I think that it's just difficult to nail that down yourself. Like I think other people can look at you and know what you are because it's so obvious to them.
Yeah.
But when you're in it yourself and you're trying to portray it,
you're not sure what is drawing them in. Yeah.
It's not something that naturally happens for me personally.
Yeah. But I don't know if people do know that unless someone's telling them, and sometimes they're telling them for different reasons, but it's like just showing that brings people in. Like that is like one of the real positives I think of social media is like, sure, you can post up your life of what you're doing all the time and what have you. And a lot of the times it's set up and it's a little fake, but the ones that shine through. Like, when someone's staging it up or got 100 filters on a shot or what have you, like people see through that, like that natural, like attraction to something as someone that's real. Like, and people that look for the, that over surface look, is just, it's not an attractive quality. I mean, certain people are probably attracted to it, but I would say most people have no idea sometimes what they're looking at. They're just attracted to a certain thing. And that's when people are in their own skin. They don't realize
what they're looking at, especially young women.
Yeah.
I actually have the thing, like I'll put a filter on that is just like the color. What's it called? I don't put any filters on that change my face.
Yeah.
So I don't make my eyes bigger.
I know that's the thing, that I've heard about.
Smooth out my face. Like you can see that, I have like this and all this. Anyway, because I just think, and like frowning and all that, like because I just feel like it's so unhealthy. So that's probably the thing that I feel most strong about actually.
Yeah.
Is making sure that there's nothing crazy airbrushed about me. And maybe that's something that's different about me to everybody else. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. I mean, like I say, I think that's the most attractive quality any human can have, or anyone can have about them, even an animal. It's like they just do their own stupid thing. Like why do you like a little puppy, or a dog? It's like falling over, doesn't even know what it's doing half the time. You find it funny and you love the little thing straight away.
Yeah.
It's because it's so innocent. It's just doing its thing.
And I feel like like showing imperfections. Like I think actually people think it's really unprofessional. I get that vibe, like you need to like maybe be a little bit more professional, Kimberley. But I actually feel like I purposely choose videos where, okay, wasn't perfect. Like I stuffed up that note or maybe made a mistake on that chord. My hair looks stupid. Like I've got like a weird elf here going on, whatever it is. I choose not to do it again because I'm like, no, it's real life. It's what I look like. And I think it's healthy for people to see imperfect things on social media.
Yeah.
I just don't want – and also everybody needs to remember that they're going to see you in real life. And if you look like shit in comparison to your photos, that's really embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've had so many people say, you look so much better in real life. And it's because I look like crap on my social media.
Well, that works, right? It's a good surprise to have.
Yeah, you got people going, you look really tired today, Kimberley. That's just what no makeup looks like.
Well, that's the exhausting feature about pretending to be something you're not.
Exactly.
Is that you have to keep up that persona when you're out in public and everything else. And eventually you start to lose focus of who you actually really are because you're pretending to be someone else.
And it's draining. It's super draining.
Yeah.
So I'd rather feel like there's some kind of substance to the video, like it's got a bit of spark and then put it on. And it's been good. I've actually been changing my perspective towards socials. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's positive.
Yeah, well, I've seen you've been posting a little more with your songs you've been doing at home or with your friends collaborating. Yeah. Yeah. Which I never used to see. Yeah.
No, I never did. I never did at all. I was just totally, I think I was just a little bit uninspired.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's good.
So where to for now then?
Well, I'm just going to honestly just focus on, I think I want to do something acoustic, record something acoustic and have something to talk about. I just need to keep having music to talk about. So I'll release this new song, Sunrise, in the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And then start working on doing some acoustic recordings. And I don't know whether so much I'm going to, a friend of mine's been saying to me lately that, don't call yourself a country artist, just call yourself a singer-songwriter. Because I'm not strictly always writing country music. So that's something maybe that might kind of help me narrow down exactly where I'm going to sit.
Yeah.
Which is, I love country music, don't get me wrong.
And that's where your roots are from, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. But, some people think they don't like country music and then Wagon Wheel comes on and they're like, yeah, rock me mama, so it might put people off me if I say I'm a country music artist and they think they hate it, but then actually they don't.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing when you hear, something like that, like you've pigeonholed it straight away. Yeah,
so that's why he's saying, and I actually think it's a really good idea.
I agree with that,
Yeah, me too.
Because it's funny because I Googled you before I came just to see what would come up. And it says that you're a folk singer.
Really?
Yeah, under genre. Yeah, it's got like your Spotify and your YouTube, and then under genre, it's like folk singer. I'm like,
really?
I don't think that's overly right.
Yeah, I need to change it to just singer-songwriter everywhere.
Somewhere and uniform it that way because I think that's an important thing to have. Yeah. Because you're like folk singer, you know, you think of someone with the ukulele just sitting up there like,
it's just all the voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what comes up straight. Yeah, musical artist. Yeah. Folk.
Oh my God, that interview's so stupid. I compare like songwriting to having a baby. I'm like, it takes about, it's so dumb.
Well, I mean,
it's funny.
I can see the comparisons. I don't know how many times we've spoken to people that are creating something and it feels like it's your baby, you know?
Yeah.
And you're not, you know, like you're cultivating it. It's funny for a male saying this.
You're a part of the process.
Well, that's very true. You cultivate something and you put so much time, energy and love, blood, sweat and tears into it to make it your own, you know, and then you start to like develop it. And then when you're slowly ready, you're kind of sharing it with the world around you, you know, and it hurts if someone says something about it like, yo, you've got a funny shaped baby there, or like, this is not quite lining up. Like what, you know, like whatever, but.
I have a question. Sorry, I cut you off then, but I have a question. When you're talking to people about acting or someone comes up and says, hey, I love this thing you were in, you were really great. Do you take on everybody's opinion or do you go like, I really care about what this person's saying, or like, because you know how like words can really cut people down.
Yeah,
Does everybody's opinion have the same weight with you?
Probably not, but I'm my own worst enemy. So I think if it doesn't even matter what anyone else is saying to me, that I'm like so harsh on myself anyway, and I never feel like I'm doing probably the best that I can do. So therefore it makes me strive to get better every time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm weird. I don't like compliments. Like I can't take them well. I'll shoot a compliment back at you if someone's like going to say something to me like that, if you know what I mean. But I prefer to compliment people rather than take them myself. But I think if I respect the person, you know, and what they've done and what they're doing, then it's gonna hold a lot more weight to it, if you know what I mean. Especially if they're in the same game or it's from a fellow actor or filmmaker, you know, and they're like, oh, I like something that you did there. That's what. But generally, you know, without saying, because they want to get you on their project or something like that. Yeah. Like, and you have a lot of, you know, people hit you up to be on this, or they'll say, yeah, I saw you in this and this, it was good. But I mean, you can see, me personally, I can see through the fake bullshit too, though. So that's another thing that like you have in this industry where people suck up to you because they see that you're doing stuff and they want to be involved in it, you know, and then they're going to say, oh, you did awesome. It's like, yeah, no, not really. I didn't really do that great in that one. Like, you know, because I'm my own worst enemy. I know I'm realist about it, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I think definitely, if you respect the person, you're going to take the weight of what they're saying a lot more, whether it's good or bad. But I'm my own worst critic when I'm critiquing something. So like, you know, that's probably more something that I got to work on personally, you know.
I turn compliments into jokes.
Yeah. Well, that's a way to reflect it, obviously, when you're not good at taking compliments. So 100%.
They'll go, oh, you look nice. I'll be like, yeah, I really tried today.
Yeah. You should have seen me backstage. Like you had no idea what
I put in effort. This took time.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and that's another reflecting of like just giving someone a compliment, you know, so it's the same thing, you know.
I'm awkward.
But yeah, definitely if you respect the person, I think, and what they've done, and then they say something good, you're like, whoa, maybe I am actually all right. You know what I mean? Like it's, but yeah, it's a weird thing, right? At any time to be talking about your work, I guess. But if you're proud of what you do in the moment, you know, like what you got to remember is that like you did it at a certain point in time. And generally when it comes out, it's like, could be 6 months to a year, 2 years after. Yeah. And you're like, God, you should see me now. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm so much better than what captured then than to what you're seeing now.
That's so good if you're improving like that and you growth, feel that way. Yeah. That's so good.
But yeah, I mean, and then there's some things that you do that you're like, oh God, what was that? You know, made the wrong choices or made this or that. I mean, is there a wrong choice? You're doing art at the end of the day. So it's like, it's a real
I probably should have extended my words in titanium. That was the wrong choice.
Just done it.
Yeah, just done it.
But that's the thing. Like, would they have aired that? You know, like you say, they didn't air the first one that you felt you did better on.
If
like,
I'd have done it on that time, like they aired it.
They had no choice.
Yeah, that would have been if I'd have nailed it.
That could have been a ploy you could have done. It's like, they're not going to cut you out.
I didn't realise what I should have done. If anybody's listening to this and they want to go on The Voice, whenever they rehearse their songs, they should listen to them and video them and listen to them back,
Yeah.
what they're rehearsing, to see whether they like the way it sounds. Because I think if I had listened to myself, I might have been like, actually, no. You know, I might have actually corrected it.
You might have pushed back too, because you're probably so caught up in the moment because they're filming those things when you're practicing,
because
right?
Because it wasn't like I took what they said for gospel. I was just kind of going with the flow.
Yeah.
But if I had like listened to it, maybe I would have realised.
You would
Maybe
have
I
pulled
wouldn't
it back
have.
and said something sooner. Yeah.
But yeah,
we don't know when.
But like honestly, I still feel like, geez, Natasha like nailed everything that she did, and she was having such like. You could tell she was so happy to be there, so grateful to be there, and she deserved to be there. She's an amazing singer, and everybody who, like, she's known within the industry, so like respected. So she is an amazing singer. So it's okay to get beaten by someone like that. Holy moly!
Yeah,
so it's a compliment to be there in the first place.
Yeah. It does make it feel a little. Yeah, when you're happy for the other person genuinely, then it doesn't like seem like defeat.
The only thing that annoyed me is right after I did it, they want to stick a camera in your face straight after. Yeah, because they want to get that emotion, they want to get that disappointment, and you know, like it was the only time I snapped. I'm a pretty direct person, so like I will say what I'm thinking. Yeah. And they were like, oh, so what does this mean for you? And I was like, what do you mean, what does this mean for me? Like, I'm a singer. This doesn't change anything. Give me 10 minutes to have a tear and then I'll be fine. I don't want to talk to you right now. Yeah. You know, they kind of pushed it, but they never showed any of that footage. They just it was unnecessary for them to do that to us. And actually, that's something that I remember about the experience that I was disappointed in. Yeah. Because I was like, just give us a minute. And that annoyed me.
Sometimes they don't really know what they're going through because they're not performers themselves. And they're told to do a job and get that because they know that that's where the quality is. Yeah.
They want something compelling to watch. Yeah,
exactly.
I know. TV. Bloody hell.
No, that's it. How do you like that beer?
Really good. You've finished yours. I've been trying not to burp. I'm so gassy.
I started to get a little that way. That's why I kind of went over I could feel the mic picking it up from here.
You're way more subtle than I am. Yeah. That's a good quality.
Yeah.
You must have done well on your first date with this chick.
I don't know. Maybe. No.
I'm sure you did.
No, I did terrible. Well, maybe part of it was good, but I do remember something funny.
You must have done something right. What's funny?
Oh, no, I took her axe throwing.
Her what?
Axe throwing. You know, it's called lumber punts.
You took her axe throwing?
Yeah, it's something fun and different.
I thought you were saying ex throwing, like ex-girlfriends.
Like throwing them. Take that bitch.
These are all my ex-girlfriends. Let's throw them.
I tried to take her somewhere afterwards. And then funny. Like for a drink or whatever it was, ice cream, whatever. I was playing cards, and then I was like, oh, let's just go chill by the river. And I was in West End, and I knew there was somewhere. I don't know West End very well, and I was trying to navigate. It took me 3 stops. I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going, and we ended up at the most seediest spot in the river you could ever take someone after a date. Seriously, props. She must have liked me to go down there because it's dark, dingy. Anything could have happened right by the water. It's hilarious. I still laugh about it all the time.
What is it with guys doing this? I had a guy do this to me. We went and had a drink, and then we drove in a car, and he took me to a dark place. There was a tarp and shit, and it was on the river, and there was no lights. Oh, wow. And he's like, "Do you want to go for a walk along the river?" And I was like, I don't feel like dying today. And I was like, I'm not getting out.
I've seen those movies before.
Yeah, and he was offended, and I was like, you're an idiot. He was a lawyer too.
You got to think about that.
Where's your head at, mate? This is so dodge. Anyway, she did like you because I didn't like that guy and I didn't get out of the car.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't go? Yeah.
No, I was like, take me back. I'm not getting out of the car. Yeah. I'm Italian. We don't put up with this shit.
Well, if you do, you're going to feel something else. If you cross me. Yeah.
It went down the dark dingy, hey?
Yeah. Nothing went down, but we went there and we talked. But it was fun. Yeah. I'm like, I wouldn't have gone down there if someone was trying to take me there. So I don't know what you were thinking. It's a funny thing.
I think I said to the guy, I was like, have you seen these wrists? There's nothing I can do against you. Get me back into the where there's people.
Daylight, so I can see where it's coming from.
Where there's lights and shit. Yeah. This is scary. No.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I never saw him again. It was mutual. Yeah. I feel like it was mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? No, I question that, but I did the same thing. So I'm like, what? What's going
Clearly
on?
it doesn't not ever work, but
yeah.
it's only, you've got a nice vibe. You don't have that like killer vibe, do
Thank
you?
you.
Like,
No,
I'm going to kill you.
I would hope not. Yeah.
No, you really don't.
Yeah.
Never.
That's good then.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have that vibe.
No, I think I've got that vibe more than you've got that vibe.
Of those killer farts you're dropping.
I'll kill you some way. I don't know how. You might just pass out.
I'd like to play it though, to be honest, on screen.
What?
Killer.
Oh, you'd like to play a killer.
Oh, yeah. That's like, funny because you want to play the thing so opposite yourself, you know?
Yeah.
There's a microphone. It's going to pick it up.
Like, all right, now I'm going to impersonate
drop one.
Quick gush.
Just warning, guys.
I shouldn't have said
God,
gush.
he's got up my Instagram. Look at that. Oh, no, it's not me. Jeez, it almost looked like me.
That?
Yeah, that's the lumber punks, yeah.
Oh, that's it there. That's fun.
It's awesome, honestly. It's really cool. And the funny thing is, you're not
Date ideas.
Yeah, no, it's so good. And it's hey, this is Jason Momoa. I met that man.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I worked on Aquaman
He's
with
handsome.
him. I got a funny story actually. Yeah, I was not that funny. I got a bit of Chris Hemsworth one, but that one I was playing a Russian submariner in the start of the movie.
Yeah.
And so I had this like get up on, and we were using we were in a soundstage, so we're using the same toilets. Normally they've got their trailer or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I was in there taking a piss, right? And I come out and I've got this like overalls thing where I'm trying to like fit it all back up, and I'm like looking down, doing myself up with my pants down, but I'm just walking out because I'm pretty casual like that. And so I'm like walking out, and then boom, I've got this 6-pack like right in my eyeliner, like basically walk straight into his like package because he's so big, and he's in the toilet like, you know, shirt off because he's doing that scene where he just goes crazy as Aquaman.
Stop.
It's funny. I'm like, oh, sup, bro? And he's like, you know, sup, man? Like, and just goes into the toilet. You know, it was just funny, eh? Like, I'm like, obviously, you know, you got to let the star do his thing, but it was just, it's hilarious.
I'm so starstruck with his association.
He's cool. He's really cool. He was funny.
He looks cool.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy. Like, he's funny on set.
He's so lovely.
Like, he was rapping like half the time we're on set, and like they had a lot of stunties and stuff like that, like in the scene that I was in, because he fucks them all up. Like, yeah, it just bashes them all. It was crazy being in there because I'm dead. I get killed straight away. And we get blasted away by this guy.
Perfect. No pressure. Yeah. You can just watch
we're just lying
down.
there. We're lying down there on fake broken glass on the instrument cluster and everything. Yeah. And like rubber, it's glass that looks legit real, but it's rubber and it's like stuck to your face all the time. But so we're just laid there dead like half the time, hiding our face because we want to be used later in the movie as well, hopefully, if you get that. And he's like throwing the guys around. And so they're on like wires and everything. That's how they do it. And so they're getting dragged across the other side of the room and flying into you and things like that. But he's just sitting there rapping. He's like real tight with everyone. It's funny seeing them, you know, like you're like, big star, you know, whatever. But they're really good. They're really down to earth, most of them, like the really good ones, you know, and like that you see working on a lot of projects, because with that sort of thing, you're working for such a long period of time. You have to be a pretty good person, you know, to be around. And people hear about it if you're not, like in a lot of things. And
that's something that's interesting about like the internet, is that people are starting to no longer get away with crappy behavior.
Well, people are calling them out for it, you know.
And like nobody's really safe anymore.
No.
So if you're going to be a dickhead, eventually, you know, like the Glee cast.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that went down with the Glee cast. So that Leah, whatever her name is.
I don't even watch it, but
I think she's got an amazing voice, but she's not a very nice person.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's so well known. So,
but is she young though too? Like,
she was young,
because you got to imagine like being young on those sets, like the ego that you don't even know what an ego is at that point.
She was kind of racist and stuff.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, like
I don't know what happened.
She was really like really. If it's true, I mean, I think it is, because so many people are doing live stream videos about her.
Yeah.
Like people who've worked with her are saying this stuff. So it's like, it's not even a message or like came from a good source. It's like the person is doing it. So yeah, and they're people who worked with her. They're on the show. They're all actors on the show. So I don't think you can get away with it anymore.
But I mean, that doesn't strike. I think I have seen like one episode, and that was like 10 years ago, right? That came. Was it a long time ago?
Yeah, I never watched it like glued to it.
Yeah, I saw parts of it, and that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Not the racist part. I mean, there's no, you know, forgiveness for that.
No.
Like, yeah, them being like really egotistical or whatever. Like, I could imagine how that would be. The way they look, like, the way they're acting on there. Like, I feel like it's just a,
you know, the mean girl thing that you see in a movie. Seems like she was exactly like that.
Okay, well, there's
pretty wild. Like, calm down, It's all good.
Keep the crazy there.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine ever like being that way. But anyway.
So you got anything that you'd like to say to any aspiring singers, songwriters, or anyone in the game right now, or what you'd like to leave with?
Well, I'd like to say thank you, Daniel, for having me on here.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
It's been so fun.
Yeah.
And I really, really appreciate it. This is like a really amazing way to feel like you can say how you're feeling at a certain time in your career, and I'm going to have this forever, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think like I don't really feel like I'm someone who can give a hell of a lot of advice. I feel like even though I've been doing this a long time, I haven't reached my potential. So, you know, I just hope that if someone's listening, they go and follow on Spotify and have a listen to my music and hopefully come and see me live. But if anybody does want to like pursue music and they're listening to this and they want to write songs, I would say the best thing they can do is start off writing a bunch of shit songs. Just write those
Just start doing it.
Just write those shit songs, and then you'll start writing one good song every 10th song, and then you'll get better at it. Because I think like writer's block comes from people thinking they're overthinking their work and they're critiquing it to a point where they stop. And like I did that for a number of years, and I no longer get writer's block because I'm totally fine with writing a shit song.
Yeah.
I finish it and then I get on to the next one, and it's all honing your skill. It's all learning how to write a better song, and you got to write a lot of shit songs to write a good song. It's the same as like learning to walk as a kid or whatever you're learning to do. You're bad at it at first, and as you get older, people think that because they're an adult, they try something new and they should know how to do it straight away. And it's just crap. It's this high expectation that people place on themselves that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So if someone is out there and they want to write songs and they want to do music, just be bad at it and then get better at it.
Put pen to paper. Yeah, it's the same with writing a script or anything like that. You just got to start writing and then all of a sudden through all that bullshit, 20 lines in, something comes to you.
It's like something that you're building, and you're building it with blocks, and each block is a song, and you got to write, you know, there's a lot of shitty blocks in there, but it's okay.
The wall,
It gets better as you get to the top. That's when you get all the peaks and the nice parts of the building, and it starts to really shine. So I just think that that's what I would say is it's okay to not nail everything. Just continue to do it. Don't ever be scared to get up on stage or sing, or just do it, man. Like that's something even now I have to remind myself, because if there's someone really talented in the room who I really respect and I want to impress, I get nervous and I don't even want to do it, but I'm forcing myself now, and I've got people around me who force me as well. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably what I would say is like you gotta be bad before you're good. You got to be good before you're great, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's amazing. I like it. And I would say to you is that just be yourself and put it out there.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Like I said, that quirkiness and everything is an attractive quality, and that's what will bring the people. And the realness always shows. The fake stuff, it's there for a little bit and that goes away.
Yeah, I could never be fake.
No, I know that. I think everybody knows that after listening to this now.
Yeah. They're like, wow, she's really real. Yeah. No, yeah.
Is it too much to ask you to sing us a little bit? Anything that comes to mind?
No, that's okay.
Anything you're feeling?
Okay, so I'll sing you a little bit of my new song.
Okay.
And it's about love. When you love something, it may not love you back and you have to let it go. And if it comes back, it's yours. It's about that saying, if it comes back, it's yours. Okay. If it doesn't come back, it never was. So the chorus goes, 'cause I've been thinking of you, my darling, you're rolling so low. Treating me too, you're charming, but always you let go. This love, it feels true to me, oh, what you do to me, darling. I know I got to let you fly out into the night sky. I hope I see you on the sunrise. Wow. So that's the chorus of my new track.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you.
I really like that. That's awesome.
It's very like light and happy, and it's not an emotional drain. It's something that you can put on and be at the beach and have a beer too.
And it sounds like you letting go.
But yeah, it's great.
I love it.
I'm really happy with it. Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Oh no, that's amazing.
Thank you.
I think we'll use that as a snippet. Just saying.
Awesome. Definitely.
Thanks for coming on, Kim.
No, thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate it.
Righto, guys, that's us. Peace out.
See you later.